What is up, everybody? Jordan here with the Deck Box, coming back to you tonight with another deck profile and some battles to go along with it. But before I hop into this list, I just wanted to, I guess, do some housekeeping for the channel and just kind of update you guys about how our next week or so is going to look. Obviously, if you want to skip ahead, you're more than welcome to. I'll leave timestamps, in the description so you can jump ahead to the profile and then to the battles. So if you don't want to listen to this, that's totally fine. But anyway, so obviously next Friday will be the beginning of St. Louis Regionals. Saturday will actually begin the tournament. So things might get a little crazy as far as timing goes. So I just realized today that I've got basically, like a week and a half to do some testing videos for you guys. I know I've been putting out some of these new Ultra Prism decks, but I wanted to do some testing as well. So here's what I plan on doing, at least the best to my knowledge. I plan on doing, I would say probably 3 to 4 videos between now and the end of next weekend, going over some testing. I still don't know 100% which lists. I'm only going to pick lists that I think are strong contenders, and you'll know that they're testing videos. I'll verify their testing videos. They may be decks we've already covered. In fact, they'll probably will be decks we've already covered, but that's fine. We're testing them to see how they do and how they'll stack up for us, and hopefully that'll help you guys with your testing. I do that for myself, obviously, so that I know that I'm comfortable with a deck, or that I know it can do well, but I also want you guys to see how these decks do in action. Obviously, you know, doing these videos, you see like 2 to 3 matches, and that's it. But these videos that I'll do that are testing, I won't run through the list unless I've made a tweak, and I'll just tell you the tweak, and then we'll move straight into the matches. That way we can get more matches in and get some more results, whether good or bad. So planning on doing a few of those. I do also have lined up a Leafeon Lurantis profile. The last video I did, I faced off against my friend Matt, and a lot of people had questions about his Leafeon Lurantis list. So that is on the books for me to profile his list as well as my own list. I'll do that in one big video, show the two lists kind of side by side so that you guys can see how each of those work, and you can pick for yourself which one you think might work better for you. And then the third chunk that I want to do, and I know I'm trying to cram a lot in this next week and a half, but the third chunk I want to do is I want to talk about something that people have been kind of debating a little bit, and that is the Giratina promo card. I actually saw today someone posted about, you know, should I play Giratina promo at St. Louis? So I think it'd be an appropriate time to talk about the Giratina promo, whether or not you should play it, which decks you should play it in. And then in that same video, I'll take you through some of the decks we've used recently, and I'll show you where I would place it in the deck. You know, if I would cut something to put it in, or if I wouldn't put it in at all. So that video, let's see, I'm going to try to have that one up by this weekend. That way you guys have about a week before the tournament that you'll have a chance to look at it. So busy week for myself. For next week and a half, it's going to be pretty busy. I'll be spending quite a bit of time with Aaron Trainer. He's coming in from out of town next weekend, so he and I will be together for that second half of the week. So I got to cram all this in for you guys. So I'm just putting out the list there for you. 1, so that I can look back and remember what I'm supposed to be doing, and 2, so that you guys will know what to expect in the coming week and a half. Okay? And obviously, if you guys are going to St. Louis, please be sure to say hi. I'd love to meet some of you guys and maybe just hang out. So without further ado, we're going to hop into this list. This is, I'm going to call it Glaceon ZOROTALES. And obviously you can see it's basically a core of Glaceon with Zoroark as a support Pokemon and Ninetales as kind of a backup attacker. So we're going to get into the list. I'm going to explain kind of the concept behind it. And it's not really a new concept. I know some people have done Glaceon Ninetales, some people have done Glaceon Zoroark, and there's some people that have combined the two. But it seems like people are having a hard time getting all 3 to squeeze into one list, and it's very understandable. It's a tight list if you get the cards in there that you need. And so that was the struggle I had, but I think I got it to where it works really well. I'm pretty happy with it. So obviously, looking at the first part, we do have a 3/3 Glaceon-GX list. This is going to be your main Pokemon of the deck, your Glaceon-GX. Obviously, we know it has that Freezing Gaze ability that as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX in play in their hand and in their discard pile have no abilities except for Freezing Gaze. So that is great to have a turn 1 to shut down all abilities, shut down all your opponent's GX or EX abilities, which could be a Tapu Lele, could be Decidueye going on later in the game, Leafeon's ability to heal itself, which is getting a little bit more attention now. I think people are realizing how strong that ability is. So Freezing Gaze is definitely great to shut those things down. Next, we have Frost Bullet, does 90 damage and 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for Water and DCE. So a really good attack. In my opinion, that's the better sniping option than Ninetales, just depending on your situation, whether you need to hit the active for more or if you want to hit something else for 50. If you're up against a Garchomp list, I would suggest using Ninetales to snipe a Gible for 50. Unless there's a Gible in the active, use Glaceon. I mean, again, it's very, very situational. There's no definitive always use Glaceon. It depends on the situation. Next, Polar Spear GX, 50 times damage. You do 50 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So that goes really well with the sniping. If you do Frost Bullet once, you're swinging for 150, Choice Band 180. So you're taking down all those stage 1s that are out there right now. So great, great card. That's going to be the focus of our deck. Obviously, we're using the Energy Evolution Eevee so that we can attach a Water Energy and immediately evolve into Glaceon-GX, shutting down our opponent's GX abilities. Next, moving on to the support Pokemon, the Zoroark-GX. Most people are playing a bit heavier line in their Zoroark Glaceon list. Since this does include Ninetales, this is shrunk down a little bit to a 2-2, and obviously we're using it for that trade ability. We have trade, we can get rid of cards we don't need, or we can get rid of water energies, because we do play Aqua Patch in this list to be able to get those back onto our Pokemon, accelerate them. So trade's a great, great ability. It essentially allows us to use 2 supporters in one turn. We have the trade ability to draw extra cards, and then whatever supporter we want to use after that. So really, really solid. And if we can do this while shutting down their Zoroarks, we're definitely in great shape. And the attack, obviously, Riotous Beating is not a bad attack, swinging for 120. Well, potentially 120, 150 with a Choice Band. It's a nice, solid, quick attack if you have nothing else set up. You just put a Zoroark down, attach a DCE, and you're good to go. So, great Pokemon overall, and it kind of has good synergy as far as the attack cost, the trade going with the water energy, and the fact that it's a stage 1. This whole deck's pretty much stage 1s, and so they all evolve pretty quickly, and they get set up pretty quickly. Moving on down, we're going to check out Alolan Ninetales-GX here. It's a card I haven't actually played with in a while, but I decided to try to include it with Glaceon because what's great about it is it has a big attack that Glaceon just doesn't quite have other than the GX. So I decided to use it for Blizzard Edge, and obviously Ice Path is good if for some reason you have that situation where it'd be better to use Ice Path. But Blizzard Edge allows us to swing for 160, 190 with the Choice Band. I don't need to sit and tell you all the different Pokemon that takes out. It takes out pretty much all the big EX or GX Pokemon that are basics, which is pretty big. You know, Lele's, Boolus, things like that. And so I think it kind of helps Glaceon a little bit in some circumstances. And while it's sitting on the bench, you can use Aqua Patch, build it up, and you're good to go. And then obviously the Alolan Vulpix has Beacon. So if for some reason you start with Vulpix in the active and you're going second, you can obviously use Beacon to set up your next turn. So definitely great support there as well. Then one card that I chose to include, and this came, after thinking about, like I said, talking about Giratina and when to include it. And I was trying to think, when do I include Giratina? And then I came up against a Greninja deck, and I played. It was with this list, obviously, and I was doing really well. I had 2 prizes left, and he still had 6. Like, it was going really well. And his giant water shurikens just kept building up and building up and building up. And that was what won him the game. Every knockout he got, well, except for one, was giant water shuriken. And it was just back to back to back. And he didn't even hit it every single turn because he didn't have a water energy in his hand every single turn. So that just shows you how much this would have been needed there. I would have won that game had I had Giratina promo in my deck. So, and if you don't know what it does, it has the ability Devour Light. Each Pokemon break has no abilities. This includes abilities of its previous evolution. So, I mean, this is just very, very critical to shut down Greninja. and I'm not going to go too far into, you know, why it's so good against that. You know, I'll talk about that later in that other video that I mentioned. And then we do have 2 Tapu Lele-GX. Don't need to explain too much. Has that Wonder Tag ability. You get to search for a supporter, and then its attack doing 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to both Pokemon is definitely not bad either. Alright, so getting into our items, we have Aqua Patch that I've mentioned plenty of times already. Like I said, has great synergy with Zoroark. We're able to discard our water energy, use Aqua Patch, and just accelerate that energy so we can have a Ninetales or a Glaceon set up in one turn with no issues whatsoever, and that's what makes Aqua Patch so great in this list. Then we do play 1 Evosoda. Like I said, these are all stage 1s, so we're not going to have too much issue getting them out, but on the off chance that we need something evolved, we can use Evosoda. Typically, I'd like to use that for Zoroark so that I can evolve immediately, not immediately, sorry, the following turn, and start discarding cards to draw more from my deck. Then we do play 1 Field Blower. It's kind of low considering we're not super reliant on abilities, mainly just Zoroark-GX's ability, and obviously if Garbodor is shutting down Glaceon's ability, then it's shutting down all of its GX and EX abilities too, which it probably won't have any if they're playing Garbodor. So really this is just to keep our Zoroark online, which is important to an extent, but it's not the end-all be-all for the deck. And the 1 Field Blower does well because we do play puzzles. I play puzzles in every single Zoroark list that I have. It just makes sense to me, and so that's why I can deal with just 1 Field Blower. Which brings us to our next point, 4 Puzzle of Time. This allows us just to get back any 2 cards from our discard pile if we play 2 of these. Occasionally, you'll have to use just 1 to look at the top 3. You're in a really bad spot if you're having to do that, but I've come out of some very, very bad spots by doing that. And it's brought back a game for me here and there. So definitely a great card. Like I said, anytime you play Zoroark, I just feel like puzzles is pretty critical to get back key cards. And what's great with puzzles is we can reuse Aqua Patch, we can reuse Evosoda, we can reuse Field Blower. I was playing a game earlier and actually Evosoda, then did a couple other things. I think I used like a Cynthia or something, got 2 puzzles, grabbed the Evosoda, used it again. You know, so I was just able to keep doing stuff over and over in the same turn, which was pretty nice. Then we have 4 Ultra Ball, pretty self-explanatory. Use this in pretty much all of our lists. Discard 2 cards and draw a Pokemon from your deck. It's really, really solid. Then we play 3 Brigette, and the reason I play the high count is kind of because we have Zoroark, so we need stuff to trade away, but we want to make sure that we also hit our cards or hit our basic Pokemon early on. We don't play a ton of them, and if we can get them set up quickly, we'll be in a great spot. So this typically it's going to allow you to get your Giratina out there if you need to, and obviously if you don't need Giratina, this is a great deck to play Giratina in because you play Zoroark. If you don't need it, you can just dump it and it's not a big deal. Sorry, got off on a tangent there. Next, we play 3 Cynthia. I love for this to be a 4 count. I just think this card is great after playing with it for a little while here. But 3 count will do in this list for now. It helps us to preserve some of our resources. And then going against my better judgment, I am playing Cyrus Prism Star. I figured, you know, it's pretty much an all-water deck. Good time to give it a shot just to see if it's worthwhile. Used it once. I mean, it felt good using it at that point. It made sense. I can't say that there's a situation in every single match where it's going to make sense, because typically they're going to get rid of 2 Lele and a damaged Pokemon, so you're helping them more than anything. But I could definitely see the merit in certain matchups. You know, if you're up against a Decidueye list, for sure, no questions asked, it'd be great. But with Glaceon, you're already kind of at an advantage there. This just kind of adds to it. So like I said, I chose to play it. So far I have no regrets about that. If I don't need it, I can dump it with Zoroark. It's not a big deal. Then we play 2 Guzma. I know normally I stick with 3 or more even, but with puzzles in this list, we can afford to shrink down to just 2. Not a big deal. Then for our other draw supporters, we play 2N, allows us to shuffle our hand, draw the same amount of cards that we have prize cards remaining. And then 2 Sycamore. This is something I've been trying to cut down for my list, because honestly, a lot of the lists I just don't want to dump stuff. But again, this list runs puzzles, so I'm okay with running a couple. Plus it allows me to get more water energy into the discard pile if I need to, so that I can use those Aqua Patches, and then, like I said, sometimes use them multiple times to set up Pokemon. And then for tools, we run 3 Choice Band just to hit some nice solid numbers to round things out, and then 2 Float Stone. This has proven very, very helpful, getting the wrong Pokemon out of the active and getting the right one in. And it's definitely going to be very useful with Giratina if for some reason you open Lone Giratina. Very rare chance, but it does happen, and when it does, it really, really sucks. So being able to use a Float Stone to get the Giratina out of the active as opposed to dumping in energy is nicer. And of course it takes a double Colorless, so you hate to have to do that. We can get it back with puzzles, but that's not what we want. We don't want to use puzzles for something that hurts us. We want to use puzzles for something we've used already, and we used it for a real purpose. Lastly, moving to our energy, we run 4 DCE and 7 water energy. Real quick, the card that I cut to get Giratina in was an 8th water energy, so if you don't want to play Giratina, if you say, you know what, I don't need it, that's fine, more power to you. I would say add that 8th water energy. But yeah, so this is the list, guys. So we are going to hop onto the ladder, try to grab a couple games with this, and see if we can take some wins. Alright, so okay, this is Leafeon Zoroark, I'm pretty sure. Or Golisopod Zoroark with like an Oranguru tech. Either one. Lost the coin flip, that's okay. Horrible hand. Absolutely horrible. We really need a top deck of Brigette or another Lele, desperate times. Alright, so definitely Zoroark in the list. We assumed that. He gets his Brigette in his opening hand, lucky. Oh, okay. So he's doing the Tapu Lele with Silvally and Zoroark. Interesting. I haven't seen very much of this. I saw a little bit early on, but it's been a while. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna choose to puzzle. Single puzzle. I hate doing it. Oh gosh. I guess Gizma's the best option. If he gets... I don't even know. I don't even know. Gosh, this is awful. I hope this list does better after this round. And I get a Cynthia, okay. Bulu's going to be ready to go. If he has another energy, he's going to be able to bring Bulu out and just end the game. And there it is. That's where you just scoop your cards up and say, no thanks. Alright. We're not counting that one, for sure. That was awful. Let's try this again. Let's try to not brick. Fighting and Psychic. Okay. This could be a Buzzwole list. Could be Crabominable. Doubt it. Probably more likely Buzzwole. Alright, so this is better than last time. Still not great. We at least get a Cynthia to start. I'd much rather have a Brigette. I know, I'm greedy. It'd be great if we could top deck a Brigette and when oh, they're playing Passimian? What? Okay. Okay. So even though they're playing this odd deck, we still have to try really, really hard here to get another Pokemon. And he's going to end us, of course. Because if we don't, next turn he knocks out our Zorua and game's over. Okay, so we get 2, and we get our Water Energy and a Float Stone. That's awesome. That's actually really good. So this allows you to do an additional 30 damage to evolved Pokemon. So if he builds that up, 130, 160, 190, man, that can add up if he does it right. Problem is he has to do it right. Now the question is, do I put Vulpix in the active and search for 2 Pokemon being a Zoroark and a Lele for next turn? I think I do, because if they run Lele, it's not really the main threat. The main threat is the Passimians hitting our Zoroarks. And starting next turn with no support really, really sucks. So we can double that by getting a Zoroark. Let's see what we're missing here. We are missing 1 Glaceon. Everything else here looks good. It's 1 Glaceon, 1 Ultra Ball's 2 prizes, a Cynthia's 3 prizes. Two Water Energy is 4 and 5. Did we prize Giratina? We did, okay, which is fine. It's going to be a crappy prize to draw, but we're not going to top deck it, which is good. Alright, so what we'll probably do is we'll Zoroark, but we'll put down the Lele, attach the DCE to Glaceon, and then we'll use Lele to get a Sycamore, which will dump the Water Energy, and then after that we'll use the trade ability. Okay, so I'm wondering if he's only playing 1 of these new Passimian, or maybe 2. Can definitely make a difference, because he's up to 70, 100. I could Lele, Guzma, bring up the Mew, knock it out. We have N. I don't want to use N. Yeah, I do like the Guzma play just to start taking that down. Take an easy prize early. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll set up a Passimian for a knockout. And this could actually be a deck where it'd be good to use Cyrus if he starts, or if she starts getting all of her Passimians set up. Use Cyrus to get him down to 2, which I know still allows him to do some decent damage, but not as much as he could do. All right, so she does play a split, so it could do 60 additional. Man, if he gets another energy in him into the active, which she will, 30, 60, 90, 100, 160. It's doing 160 damage. Choice Band 190. It's knocking out Glaceon. That would be ridiculous. Gosh. Okay. And we have Zoroark. Zoroark can start knocking things out. Oh! Didn't get the Choice Band, so we're good. We are good. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna Aqua Patch. We're gonna start setting up our Ninetales because it can one-shot these guys. Do I Ultra Ball to get the Ninetales? No. Do this. We'll trade the Ultra Ball. Sycamore. I want to get more cards. Evosoda, Aqua Patch. That's good. It's real good. Oh, and you know what? I keep screwing up. We could have been using Brooklet Hill to get down another Vulpix. I'll wake up. Okay, let's see here. So I don't want him to knock him out. Treat. Hate to do that. Figured maybe she played counter energy, but I haven't seen any. What was that last card? Was that what she just played, or? Oh, it was probably a card that she got back. Yeah, it was a DC that she got back. Alright, so we see the Cynthia played. Cyrus is useless right now. The bench is so shrunk down. So maybe dump that. Actually, I'd rather just dump the Choice Band. Because, excuse me, we know we won't need that. Did they get the second energy? If they didn't, and I somehow managed to get a DCE, I can knock out the active. Oh, no I can't, because he took down Glaceon. Just like that. DCE would still be good for Zoroark. Let's start off by trading. Alright, let me think this through. How much health? 110. Cyrus and Brigette. This is a weird matchup. Back to Aqua Patches. Or yeah. I'll grab back a DCE and an Aqua Patch. No. Have we used any puzzles besides these two? No. So we'll just Aqua Patch for now. Yeah. So we can set up this Ninetales. Take down the main attacker, and then these two, it really doesn't matter. I mean, they can still swing for 100, but he's swinging for 130, 160 with a Choice Band, so we really don't want that. There's a stretcher, so he's swinging for more, 30, 60, 90, 100, 130, 160. Dang. I'd really hate to use that GX attack on something with damage already on it. And there's a Choice Band, 190. So if we could get a Guzma, that would be the best, because then I can use that on a different Passimian and actually make it worthwhile. But, you know, if I have to, I have to. Because otherwise they come so close to taking this. And we can still trade. Oh, did I trade last turn? I may not have. Alright. Let's see what we got. Let's trade the Zoroark. I don't think we'll need him now. Of course we get a Zoroark. Where's Zorua? I don't know why I'm thinking so hard about this. We can Aqua Patch here. The active didn't get hurt, so we can just take him down. We'll end him, shrink up his hand. Putting way too much thought into that. So we can dump Brigette next turn. Yeah, okay. We're not doing bad. I'll use Ice Blade for now, because that's all I need. No energy on board. They do play DCE, right? Dump to yeah, they play DCE because they use a special charge, that's right. You just haven't seen any of it. I wonder if they end up prizing a bunch after they use the Rotom decks. Like I said, I would be really, really surprised if they didn't play counter energy as well. Is that what they just attached? No, it's a DCE. Huh. Next, if they use counter, they could at least use Rock Curl from this guy as well. If they really need to. Stretcher's like crazy. He's going to be swinging for 100, 160, 190. That's fine. He can hit us with that, and we can use our GX attack. And oh no, he's going to go for Glaceon probably. Yep. Really, he would have been smart to go for Zoroark though, because Zoroark can one-shot him. Zoroark allows us to draw cards. Just so many things. Alright, we got double puzzle. Do we need double puzzle? Let's trade you away. Alright. Double puzzle for DCE, so that we can just back-to-back use this attack. I like that. But we'll just grab one of those, and we'll grab Cynthia for the other part. So we have a supporter this turn. Because he won't be able to knock us out in one shot with that. I kind of want to play Giratina to get out of my deck so I don't draw into it again, but I don't want it to be a liability. Same with Eevee. Eevee's much worse of a liability. That's fine. Alright, so we do draw back into it. That's fine. So Blizzard Edge, we'll take this knockout, even things up again. What's making things like almost impossible for us is they're all one prizers. Like no Lele, nothing. They did have Regirock, which would have helped us tremendously taking that knockout, but just wasn't going to happen. So even if they hit us with one of their Passimian, 360, 90, 100, okay, that's fine. If they hit the active, we can GX it. The problem is if they get a Choice Band DCE and Guzma, they can take down Lele for their last two prizes, and we do not want that. And the problem is, like, it doesn't matter which Passimian we take out. Or I guess we probably should have been going for this guy with the Float Stone. We could have taken him out so there's no Float Stone action on the field. I mean, they play more, but okay, that's good. He's just going to be able to fling. He's got a special charge, his 1 DCE back. I'm really shocked. Yeah, they've only played 1 and they've had to cycle through it. Surely they don't just play 1 DCE. That would just be ridiculous. And if they only play 1 DCE and they beat us, I think I quit. Probably not. Alright, so he's gonna fling. He's probably gonna fling. I don't even know which would be the best option. Maybe Lele to make it more accessible, even if one of them's knocked out. How many stretchers have they used? 3, I think. Yeah, man, if he had used 4, then I'd definitely try to get this thing. Alright, so he's going for the thing that he has weakness on, which is silly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. See what's in our deck, if there's anything we need. I don't think there is. No, not really. We're not even going to trade. Don't need to. Take it out. So all we got to do is make sure that we can survive this last turn. Anything they put up there we can take out as long as we survive. And the only way they could, let's see, 30, 60, 70, 100, 130. Yeah, I mean, if they get a Guzma DCE, they can take down Zoroark. Or Guzma DCE choice. I mean, yeah, Guzma DCE gets it for him. You could have gotten it for him for a while. There's DCE. And there's Guzma. They get it. So they play more than 1 DCE, obviously. That was not a fun match. I hate playing against Passimian whenever it's on point. Like, if Passimian is on point, it really ruins your day. But, oh well. Oh well. When you have weakness, it doesn't help. Okay. Ninetales put in work there. We didn't get to really see Glaceon do its thing very much, but let's grab one more game. And I'm really trying to see if this is a good deck at all, to be honest. I'm really liking Glaceon. If you haven't checked it out already, check out the Glaceon Decidueye list. I really, really enjoy that one. It's a unique list, I think, and I think it's very, very good. This might be Greninja. Or just like a straight water box type thing, who knows. If it's Greninja, then we should be fine. Because we have Tina. Reason number 1 to play Tina. You gonna pick your active, or you just don't want to play? There you go. Now you get it. Oh gosh, that opening hand. Wow, this might be a repeat of the first game. Gosh, that's awful. The good thing is if it's, yep, okay, good. We have at least a turn to survive since it's Greninja. We'll just do that. Pass. Ah, man. Let's see. And after this turn, we'll still have another turn. Unless he gets, like, Lele. Lele. No, he wouldn't have DCE, though, with this list. Duh. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. But I'm not playing this in St. Louis. You can take my word on that. I do not think I will be playing this in St. Louis. It's good, but it's not that good. There's good old Bubble. We can't even beacon. Yeah, I know. There we go. Gosh, this is stupid. And we prized our other Vulpix. That's cool. Prize of Zoroark. A Vulpix is 2. Brigette is 3. Choice Band is 4. And 2 water energy. Wow. Cool, bro. Alright, click done. Apparently having Giratina doesn't shore up your Greninja matches. Not at all. Froakie. Okay, they dumped quite a bit. There's the Evosoda. Or did I say Froakie? I meant Frogadier. E-Hammer, cool. It's already having a bad start, but thanks for that. There it is. Here come the water dupes. All we can hope is that they prize 2 Frogadier. Yeah, and they didn't do that. Okay, they prized 1. I guess I attach, and I will beacon. I will grab a Lele and a Ninetales. And hope that we survive. If we do survive, we can actually take a knockout. But he could shut down our abilities. So Lele's useless. So that was dumb. Cool. Thanks, bro. Depending on what he has in his... Alright, so... Oh! No, he does 80. Duh. Alright. Another game. I hate going into the 4th game like that, but we have to. This has been such a bad showing of what I thought was a decent list. I didn't think it was perfect by any means, but my goodness. The bricks are real. You can build a house with them. This will be the last match, no matter what happens. Because I don't think I can take much more. Getting really frustrated. Alright. Fairy Color Psychic Lightning. It may be a lightning deck with Mime Tech. I don't know. I doubt it's Guardy with no Gallade and a Tapu Koko promo. I doubt it's that. I really doubt it. Gosh. Mulligan again. Alright, they get a mulligan too, so we can see what they're playing at least. Maybe. Okay, we get Brigette, we get Eevee, that's good. Alright, so that was our hand. And they're playing... Alright, so they're playing a lightning deck with probably a Mime Tech. That's probably what that fairy was. As if one Brigette wasn't enough. Let's see what we prized. Oh, both Zoroark. That's cool. Alright. Prized 1 Eevee. Both Zoroark is 3. I guess we grab these 2. Prized 1 Aqua Patch is 4 prizes. Got the other puzzle in our hand. Prize the Choice Band is 5. No, we didn't prize the Choice Band. That's 4. What am I missing? 2 Zoroark. 1 Eevee is 3. Aqua Patch is 4. Have to figure it out. Evosoda? Yeah. Alright. No, Evosoda's in her hand. Huh. Okay, that's fine. We're done. Alright. Having a water energy would have made that a lot better. I will say that. Was there grass? Yeah, there had to have been grass in it. So maybe, you know, it's probably Vikabulu with a Mime Tech. That's what it is. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? It's Ultra Ball. Let's get rid of Brigette and Field Blower. And grab a Glaceon. And then we use Evosoda. To grab a Ninetales. We're going to end because chances are they have what they need to get themselves a Vikavolt. Okay. Still not a great turn 2, but we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I figured we'd probably end them into stuff. Oh, Clefairy. Duh. I gotta remember what that does. Yep, okay. Be a good one to snipe with Ninetales. So maybe puzzles for Evosoda and N. Actually, no, we'll use Lele for... Yeah, no, dang. Trying to think here. No, I don't want to do that because it's going to help them out. I'll just have to use my Lele. And I think I'll actually grab a Sycamore for this one. I know I got the Field Blower back, but I didn't really see anything else worthwhile. Yeah. So attach. Yeah. Attach that there. Sycamore. We get DCE, we can knock out the Grubbin, which is good. There it is. And we can set up Bulu for a big knockout with the GX attack. Which again, that's why that GX is so solid, because you just poke it once and it's set up. We get our Zoroark, which is awesome. So we can dump some water energy. They still can't use their Lele's. That's fine. Dumping our Float Stone. We've got one in our hand. Okay, so they had to dump a Vikavolt. That's good news for us. It's probably going to get a Vikavolt. Now we have to hope for, though, is that he doesn't. Oh no, he's getting Grubbin. Okay. So good. So he won't be able to knock us out. He would have to have Rare Candy, Vikavolt, Choice Band to do that. And he doesn't. So let's do this. We will put this on this guy to prep a big knockout. We'll trade the other one here. Aqua Patch, that's good. Get it back. Put it on this guy. I'll attach the Float Stone here. We will 20. No, I'm not gonna do it. We'll put it on here because then he can one-shot a Bulu. We will Cynthia. So this is how the deck is supposed to run. This is how it was running before I started recording figures. So now we use our GX, take down the Bulu. That's solid. So yeah, this is how the deck is really supposed to work. Besides the opening wasn't great. It still took a minute. They had a little bit tougher time than we did. And of course getting our Glaceon made it tougher for them, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a list that's really about setup. Maybe thickening up the lines would help, but I just don't know what I'd cut to make that happen. Alright, so there we go. We see a victory. A quick one. I know we didn't get to see it play out fully. But what I was going to say is potentially thicken up the lines. And you know, let's look at that real quick. Because I don't want to just say, you know, we got the win, who cares, we're good. I really do want to take the time to think about this list. Alright, so we get a Gardevoir EX. No, thank you. I want to look at this because the things we could cut, like we could cut stuff to thicken up a couple of the lines. So if I was going to do it, I would say probably thicken up the Zoroark and maybe the Glaceon. Maybe 4-3 and 3-2 to make things easier. So you could do that by getting rid of a Cyrus. And you could dump a Brigette. You could easily do that. Bridgette's easy to dump. So there's two things. If you wanted to beef up Vulpix, Zorua, and Eevee one apiece, you could dump Brigette, or a Brigette, excuse me, a Cyrus, maybe a Choice Band. because Choice Band's not really getting you a bunch of big one-shots. You really use it mostly with Ninetales, or if you need to hit just the right number for a 2-shot Frost Bullet or for Polar Spear. So maybe not that one. Maybe Float Stone actually wouldn't be too bad, because you could actually afford to dump water energy in this list. So dumping a Float Stone, a Brigette, and a Cyrus would not be bad to beef up each of the basic lines. I think that would help us to avoid things like mulligans, and then of course beyond mulligans, just opening with just one basic and, you know, kind of getting donked after that. So yeah, so those are the considerations I'd probably make in changing the list. But let me know what you think down in the comments, if there's something you would tweak about it, if you would play this list, if you wouldn't play this list. I won't blame you either way. It's a neat list, it's a fun list. I don't think it's competitive ready yet, for sure. I know a lot of other people have tried a lot of different variations of this, and it just hasn't quite worked out yet. So let me know if you've come up with any sort of variation that really works for you, and just hit me up, let me know. I'd be really curious to hear about it. And let me know actually in the comments for this video, since I will be prepping, like I said, talking about the Giratina. Give me your thoughts on Giratina in the comments for this video, and I'll take some of those comments and probably talk about them in that video. It might help out a little bit, just to get a little feedback beforehand, so that there's some preparation there. But yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. Be sure to tell your friends about us, share the video, share the channel, post it on your Facebook, Twitter, whatever. It really helps us out. And as usual, please be sure to subscribe, whether or not you're a new watcher or new viewer. Watcher sounds so creepy. Whether or not you're a new viewer, please be sure to subscribe. Again, we'd really appreciate that. We love having you guys around. And like I said before, if you're in St. Louis next weekend, please come up and say hi. I should be pretty easy to find. So yeah, and of course you can just hit me up on YouTube or on my Twitter at J3T8LAK, and just let me know, hey, I'm at the center in St. Louis, come say hey, and I'll try to find you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what's in your box. Have a great day, guys.